Welcome back, my dear students. Welcome back, everyone, to the next video or the second video here today on this group of videos which we have about the organizational behavior. And this is our second video today. We'll resume talking about what we started in the first one. We're talking about the telecommuting and telecommuting and how it affects the other people and how it affects the others. Some things here I will stop on, like what do you mean by the outsourcing? The practice of hiring external assets to provide services to help perform jobs functions typically done by the internal employees. And we have also enabled by modern technology freelancing. Outsourcing, like exactly when you want to try to buy something or make it at home. So if you want to make a piece of cake at home, and you found at home that it will cost you less, then here we say this is kind of insourcing. But if you think that if you buy it ready-made from Metro or from any other supermarket or any other superstore, then in that case, we call it outsourcing. So the decisive factors whether to do insourcing or outsourcing is the cost. So the cost and the quality also as well. Three generations activity in today's workforce, we call baby boomers, Generation X, and Generation Y. So what are the benefits of telecommuting? Is it self-motivation, limited face-to-face meeting, working from anywhere and anytime? Telecommuters can work with people in any place or any time. Yes, the thing is that you can work from any place and from any time, and this is the real answer. Okay. Which of the following is a complication of outsourcing? What is the complication of the outsourcing here? Range of employee skills or advanced technology or multiple backgrounds and culture. This is outsourcing. Complication of outsource or increased profit margin. Of course, C, because it's multiple backgrounds and cultures when you work in outsourcing. Okay. We'll handle here the diversity, and I put also another video for the diversity, but this is a video, assistant video for the, what do you mean by diversity? A successful community which includes individuals from diverse backgrounds who are contribute to the success of the community by practicing understanding and respect of different ideas and perspectives. The social progress, the capacity of a society to meet the basic human needs to its citizens, establish the building block they allow citizens and communications to enhance and sustain the quality in their life. So this is the difference between both of them, and we have a video about the culture diversity. We will see it, but the most important part is what we'll say just now. Progressive reforms of the 19th century, the workplace, they made the work 8 hours a day, 40 a week. Law against child labor, this is things which is done in the 20th century and with very good advantages. Legislation of unions and minimum wages law regarding the governments, the right to vote for women and minorities, direct elections. In the education, there is public education college loans, education grants. Those are the things actually that they consider impressive in the 20th century. Impressive in the 20th century. Is done in the 20th century and is not done before, and that helpful so much to the society. Okay, this is about the diversity. Does it make sense? Yes. In human, in organization behavior, yes. So, generational diversity in the workplace, that's what we find it in some place like Canada here. In Canada, as example, young employees and experienced employees bring different experience when there is diversification. So diversification will lead to differences. Generational stereotypes are not necessarily accurate, but can help us understand how generations think differently. So what about the gender communication differences? Men engage in report talk, women in rapport talk. Women request, men direct. Women are information focused, men are image focused. Empathy is not apology. Women are judged by their appearance, men are judged by what they say and do. On the other hand, the racial diversity, becoming more racial diversity, racial diverse, employees struggle to hire diverse candidates for open positions. Some solutions might include recruit new employees from other areas, address unconscious and unconscious biases. Biases means that you pre-favor someone or pre-favor some idea because it goes well with you, it works well with you. Recognize all racial groups, Hispanic, Asian, Blacks, Caucasians. Religious diversity. Employees who want to promote their religious diversity can recognize all religious holidays and provide opportunity for employees to celebrate with their coworkers, allow religious clothing, provide floating holidays for those who wish to recognize their religious holidays outside of the office, offer dining options that consider religious preferences. For the disabilities and diversity, accommodations for those that are differently enabled might include accommodating for physical limitations, communication limitations, cognitive limitations. So if I ask a question here, is categorizing individuals based on their generation an accurate way to label the workforce, why or no? Yes, generational differences are extremely accurate based on the generation in which individuals are born. No, traditionalists are leaving the workforce and generation hasn't entered yet. C, no, while there are generations or generational stereotypes, they are not all encompassing to every member of each generation. And I think this is the right answer. Yes. The fourth answer, yes, generational stereotype give insight into the priorities of all members of the generation. So the best answer is the 3 here in this question. Okay, it's now just we move into the second part, and I will go also now for some important things regarding the organizational behavior. We talk about the organization, whether there is diversity or there's no diversity. We talk about the organization. So organization with a diversity of people who are working from anywhere and from in the world, and those come together and work in one place, these people all together, or these members, will configure the organization. So the organization or the organizing itself, some write it with S and some write it with Z, like this. It's right in the two cases. Organizing is the process of identifying and grouping of activities required to attain the objectives. Yes, including delegating authority, creating responsibility. Notice that we also talk about authority, then we are talking about responsibility. They are like the two faces of a coin. Every responsible is author, and every author is responsible, and establishing a relationship for the people to work effectively. Any organization, diversified or not diversified, in all the cases, any organization should include these characteristics, or you can say also characteristics. You can say also characteristics. Characteristics of organization. The first point in the characteristics of organization is the common objectives, because all are working to achieve only one objective. The division of labor is the second point. Authority of structure. So it's not left like this. It's go on a system or on a structure. Like as example, the bishop and the church, like the army, from a general or a colonel to a lieutenant to a sergeant to at end a soldier or officer. So it goes into a descendant order, group of persons, coordination, communication, environment, rules, and regulation. So those are the 8 points that should be there in the as a nature or characteristics of any organization. Those points: common objective, specialization and division of labor. Everyone is specialized. Everyone is specific, working in a part of the job. Is not doing the whole job, but doing part of it. Authority or structure, group of persons, coordination, communication, environment, rules, and regulations. The third point here we want to talk about regarding the organization is the span of control. How many persons can one manager supervise? We call it a span of control. So it is the number of employees that work with one employer only. One thing also, when we talk about the organizations, we have formal and informal organization. The formal organization is based on the official organizational structure. It's based on the official organizational structure. Everything is clear. There is a structure, like you see here, this word, and there is also responsibilities. There are authorities. There is everything regarding this organization. Everything is clear. Everything is clear. And the line of authority between the members in the organization is totally clear for everyone. Each one has his own duties. As example, I am a teacher here now. I'm teaching organizational behavior. Other teachers are teaching human resource management. Other teachers are teaching, so blah, 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 so on. Everyone is assigned his own duties. That's in the formal organization. The interrelationship of staff members can be shown on the organization chart and manual as well. So we have now the organization, and we have formal and we have informal organization. Sorry about that. So what is the difference between formal and informal organizations? What are the difference between them? If we said the formal is based on the structure, the informal is based on the friendship or the relationship between the members, like friendship, any, but not formal one, not based on the structure of the organization, not based on the structure of organization. So informal organization is an organization which establishes the relationship on the basis of members' interaction, communication, personal liking and disliking, and social contacts. So nothing here about the formal, all about the persons. Like example, two friends. So those are informal organization. Okay. This happened naturally because it's nature in the humans. It's not like the nature. On the basis of friendship or some common interests which may or may not be related to work. So, but majority is not related to the work. For sure, it's not related to work. I will go directly to the organizational chart to show you the relationship. This is formal structure. This is formal structure. And here, chart means how the organization looks. Here is the chairman as example, John. Here is the managing director, let's say Thomas. The production manager is Ben. The marketing manager is Michael. The personal manager is Anandeep. The supervisor of operation A is Roman. The supervisor of operation B is Cristiano. The supervision of operation C is Edward. Workman 1 is Alan. Workman 2 is Ankita. Workman 3 is let's say another name, Bell. So here, when you see the chairman on the top of the company, then delegated the authority. That's one we call it line of authority. This line, the red line, we call it line of authority, where it goes from the top management down the way, all the way down to the lower management, then to the lower level of management. We call them, like I showed you before in the first video, the managerial levels. In the so those how it goes in that order. So if, as example, the chairman here want to talk to this workman down here, he don't talk to him directly. No, he must follow these red lines. So instructions will go to the direct manager. From there, it will go to the production manager, and the production manager will talk to the supervisor B, and B will talk to the workman here. So here it goes like this. And if this workman also want to talk or say anything regarding the work to the chairman, it must follow in that red lines till it go up all the way up to the chairman. This we call it formal structure. This we call it formal structure. Here is also horizontal chart, doesn't mean differences so much, but it's in the horizon instead of vertical like the previous one. So it is horizontal. Here is the chart, circular chart also, but we care always, usually we care about this one. This one, the more it is flattened. So if more levels are in the same horizontal line, that's better than the toll structure. Toll structure, for the information and for decision to come, it takes longer time if it is a toll structure. So we say organizational behavior. So when we try to see the steps on organizing process, or determine the activities, group the activities, assign the duties, delegate the authorities, establish structural relationship, coordinate the activities. Those are some things which we do when we organize the process. When we organize the process. Also, departmentalization, like each department, management department, like here I will show you here as example. When we say departmentation by enterprise function, so based on the job of each department. So as example, we have marketing department, product department, personal department, and financial department. And each department of those is doing functions. As example, the marketing department, including marketing research, marketing planning, sales administration, advertising. So that's what we call departmentation or departmentalization. Departmentalization or departmentation. So here also, the president goes to the vice president to the MD, or MD is the manager of departments, manager of the whole departments. This all we call it a structure or organizational structure. Sometimes it goes departmentation by territory or by province, like as example, the manager of Oakville, the manager of Durham, the manager of Etobicoke, the manager of Scarborough, and so on. We have also departmentation by the customers itself. So we have the type based on the type of customers, like managers, cooperative loan, manager of agriculture's loan, business loan, personal loan, and housing loan. That's inside the bank as example. So what are the types of the clients itself? Then we'll see, we'll work based on this. Also, we have like by process of equipment, like as example, ginning, spinning, weaving, drying, or in the hospital as example, there is a department for surgery, a department in the hospital. There is a department for surgery, department for pediatrics, every based on the specialization and based on the function of the department itself. Based on the product or services also, this is another department. We'll go to the part of the authority and responsibility. Authority is the right to give orders and expect to obey the orders. This is the authority. We have two types of authority. We have line authority and we have staff authority. Line authority is between the boss and the employees. It's based on the obedience of the orders. We call it line authority, but we have also staff authority. Actually, we have also staff authority, and the staff authority means staff authority is that type of authority which means the right to give advice. So the line authority to give orders, the staff authorities is to give advices. Staff authority is exercised by a man. The relationship between staff manager and the line manager with whom he works depend on part in his staff, and this is only advisory relationship. Here we go. Advisory relationship. So staff authority is here to give advices, but not to give orders like the line authority. So line authority gives orders, but the staff authority gives advices. And this is the main difference or the core difference between both of them, between the line authority and the staff authority. Decentralization of authority means that the decision is not only in one hand. Decision making is not only in one hand. And this point of view means that the boss or the manager should delegate part of his authorities into his employees. Part of the authority should go to the employees. This we call it decentralization. Decentralization. Perfect. Meanwhile, centralization is the opposite. Centralization means that the decision making is focused on one hand. So centralization like what? Like you see someone who is signing all the papers, no one else to sign. Someone who's taking all the decisions, no one to share him decision making. All this we call it centralization. But decentralization, centralization in one hand, the decision. Decentralization means I'm delegating the authorities. So let me, one thing as example, in the past, people used to issue the passports from the capitals only. This is centralizations. But when you in your province have an office to have your own passport department, this is decentralization. The delegation of authority means that I am a manager and I am going abroad as example. So I have to say to my the vice of mine or deputy of mine or whoever is the second head in the organization, I will delegate the authority for him. Or I am a teacher, senior teacher. I will delegate authority to teach for small teachers, for a junior teachers. But one thing I want to tell you, we can delegate the authority. Yes, we can do that, delegate the authority, but never delegate the responsibility. So delegation consists with granting authority or the right to decision making in certain defined areas and charging the subordinates with responsibilities for carrying through assigned tasks. In management by objective, you set the plan. In management by objective, you set the main plan or the main objective, and you leave the way to achieve the objective opened for the workers. As example, let me say that I want to paint this room which I'm sitting in right now. I want to paint it. So instead of saying I will bring 5 guys, or I'll tell them, guys, here is the room. I want it painted. You finished in 1 day. You finished in 2 days. You finished in 2 weeks. It's left up to you. But I want it painted. And I will leave for you how to achieve this, but I will put the main specifications and they will achieve it. The employees will achieve. Management is a process whereby the superior and the subordinate managers of an enterprise jointly identify its common goals, define each individual's major areas of responsibilities in terms of results expected of him, and use these measures as guide for operating the unit and assessing the contribution of each of these members. The management by objective is a process whereby superiors and subordinates sit together to identify the common objectives and set the results which are to be achieved by the subordinates. Yeah, but the way they achieve these objectives is left up totally to the employees to do whatever they do, but at the end, they achieve the results. Of course, there are some drawbacks for the management by objectives, like failure to teach the philosophy of management by objectives, failure to give guidelines because it doesn't give guidelines to do the work. It depends totally on the employees. Difficulty of setting goals, emphasis on short-term goals only. Most of the cases of the MBO, they focus on the short-term goals, danger of flexibility, time-consuming, and increased paperwork. That's what we came to today. We talk about many topics today. We talk about the organization, and I will put some questions here right now. Question 3, define organization. Define organization. Those things I want you to define it. Organization, formal and informal organization. And also I want you to know this point, the vertical structure, vertical organizational structure, and we need also to know MBO, management by objectives, and authority and responsibility. So these are the points which we handled today and which I want you guys to answer it right now in short notes. Write short notes in this point. So you write short notes regarding these points. Shall I stay here like around 5 or 10 minutes to get your answers before I move to the next video? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So here is the question. Define organization, formal and informal organization, vertical organization structure. This is the structure, the graph. And please draw the graph. Management by objectives, authority, and responsibility. Please look for this point. You can Google search for bonus answers as well. You can Google search it if you like to have bonus marks. I will wait here like around 5 minutes to get your answers about these questions before I move into the next video. Thank you so much.